Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Good Times, Great Movies. We're an 80s movie podcast where every other week we watch a different movie from the 80s and then we talk about it. I'm one of your two hosts. My name is Doug McCambridge, and with me, as always, continuing to try and fix a microphone that is clearly not working, it's Jamie Lorello.
So I know, hello. I know you're going to cut out. Oh no, the light went out. So you're cutting out the whole we had about 20 minutes of audio issues.
Should we start our Patreon up again, and that'll be our
And then
first
maybe they could
episode?
hear it. And maybe they can donate. So I did get a new microphone so the listeners know. And I picked it solely because it lit up on the bottom. And it does. It lights up nice and it's got a great little stand and it's cute, but it doesn't work. So
Just based on this, I don't know if Consumer Reports is still around, but I want you to get a job there working for them. You're like, here's the thing. I thought it was great because it was colorful and it lit up. But the only problem is it just doesn't work.
no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. So we've had some difficulties here, and my sound isn't much better. But you know what? It's okay because I'm not giving too much away. But maybe the movie
Go
will be
ahead.
better than the sound. Hmm.
Oh, what? Oh my God. I am okay.
I jumped right ahead on that, didn't I?
What you did, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to talk about this now.
Okay.
Because in my opinion, you could be talking into a tin can and it would be better than this movie.
No.
I hated this. I
What?
hated this. There were a few moments where this movie kind of had me at times,
Yeah.
and then every time I was just like, why? At one point in my notes, I literally wrote, "Hey, you don't need to be 90 minutes to be a movie. You could just end this right here." I am quite surprised, and I can't wait to talk about this
All
now.
right. Well, there we have it.
Because maybe I'm way off. Maybe I'm way off with this, and you can let me know. Because let's start with who wrote and directed this. This is a
Yeah.
John Hughes joint, and I
Hmm.
think that I'm going to say we have a little bit of a complicated relationship with John Hughes
Hmm.
on this podcast because as a director, 16 Candles, neither of us were a big fan of that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
She's Having a Baby, which was a disastrous movie. And as a writer, Mr. Mom, come
Oh
on,
yeah, it was great.
amazing.
Yeah, so great.
The Great Outdoors, I know you're a bigger fan than I am, but I'm still okay with that.
Yeah.
And then Some Kind of Wonderful, which,
Mm,
yikes.
yeah.
And boy, oh boy, I was so ready to slot this into the yikes category. But boy, oh boy, Jamie, I think it's been a really long time that we've come down on even before we started to talk about it, such opposite sides of a movie. This is very exciting.
Oh, I'm excited. Let's get into it. Let's roll up our
Let's,
sleeves.
yeah, let's get into our cast real quick. Anthony
Hmm.
Michael Hall as Gary. Love
Yeah.
it. I don't have a problem with the names in this movie at all. I think the names are super
The
fun.
name's suitable. Yeah. You
Mhm.
know what? I can remember them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gary and Wyatt. Yeah,
And
sure.
Wyatt. Yeah. Yeah.
So we've seen him in 16 Candles. Kelly LeBrock, we have not seen in anything.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
And I looked her up, only one other movie in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Yeah. Something with,
Was she a model though? She's a model.
I'd be surprised if she wasn't.
Yeah.
I think she's in a movie like Lady in Red or Woman in Red with
Oh
Gene
yeah, Lady
Wilder.
in Red. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So maybe at some point, after we've forgotten how those Gene Wilder movies went
Yeah.
down.
Gene can rub you funny, right?
Yes. Ian, actually, I don't know if that's his name. Ilan. How would you say that?
I
Ilan?
Alan? Maybe it's an Alan? Alan?
Alien?
Ilan? Ilan.
Yeah.
Ilan.
Ilan, let's say Ilan.
Alan. Alan.
Elan,
Yeah.
I hope that's correct. Elan Mitchell Smith is Wyatt. Haven't seen him in anything.
And what else was he in? He was like
I,
he's like the kid from what's that other movie
Night of the
with
Creeps.
No, I
Oh,
wasn't
I
thinking
thought
that.
I thought you meant the kid with the crutches in Night of the
Oh,
Creeps where you were like, he's
where we
doing such
never
a
see
great
him again.
job.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but we want to see him in other things. Yeah, yeah.
Who were you thinking
I was
of?
thinking of the Sarah Jessica Parker look-alike from oh,
What?
what's the movie with Val Kilmer where they're the two, it's not Weird Science, but they
Oh,
are
Val Kilmer Science.
do you, do you
I
know the
know
one I
what you,
mean?
yes,
And he's got
of
the
course.
he's got the buddy that you don't ever see again in
Yeah.
anything else
Yep.
because he then became Sarah Jessica Parker. But
Yep.
this kid didn't
Yes.
become
This kid, for all we know, he became Sarah Jessica Parker, but I don't
maybe.
think so.
Mm-mm.
Then let's move on to Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, with
I,
some hair product.
I, it looks like, and we only saw him in one movie. He looks like he stepped right off the set of Less Than Zero. He looks a mess in this. His eyes are like so sunken into his head. It looks like he's on a heroin bender, but he's not acting as such. He's got a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I found the bullies to be a breath of fresh air in this movie. And I also found when Bill Paxton is on screen, I am all about it.
You loved it.
I'm like, Bill Paxton is playing this character
This jerky older
so,
brother, yeah.
so amped up and so
Mm-hmm.
like off the charts ridiculous with what he is asking of his brother, what he's saying, what he's upset about all the time. And we have seen him. All right, so I'll take a deep breath so I can get
Yeah,
through
there's
this.
a lot that we've seen him in. And recently,
He was in Stripes. He was in Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. He was in Streets of Fire. He was in Terminator. He was in Commando, and he was in Near Dark.
get it,
Yeah, really.
right?
And oh, the only other person in here, there's actually a few other people that pop up that I'll talk about when we get to them. Gary's dad, the one who forgets who Gary is
Oh, yeah, yeah,
at the
yeah.
end of this movie, he was in Butcher Baker Nightmare
I was
Maker.
gonna say, was that the other movie he was in?
Yeah, he was the non-homophobic cop. Remember there were two cops and one was like just slinging the gay F slur all over the place. And then there was the other cop who seemed reasonable. He was the reasonable cop in that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Now, wait, before we get
Yeah.
into it, this is one of those movies that we cover that is a little bit more popular, a little bit
Sure.
more well known, like
Never
says
now and
John
then.
Hughes. So, had you seen it before?
I'd never seen this.
No.
I'd never seen this movie. I don't know how so many John Hughes movies flew
Went
under the
through,
radar.
yeah.
Like, I saw The Breakfast Club a bunch, but I feel like outside of that, the 80s are just nothing. I mean, I've seen Home Alone more than any reasonable human should ever watch that movie,
Mm-hmm.
but John Hughes of the 80s, nothing. I don't, like, I was younger, a little bit younger than
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah,
characters
to
when this movie
appreciate.
came out, so
Yeah.
maybe that was it, but like, I hadn't seen 16 Candles either.
Right.
I hadn't seen Some Kind of Wonderful, like she's having a baby. Why would anybody ever watch that movie? I have no idea. But no, this is like a void where I always heard what an icon he is as a director and how important
Mm-hmm.
his films were in this decade. I gotta tell you, not impressed. I am not impressed. Though, have you seen this?
I feel like I had seen parts were familiar. I feel like it was one of those that was on an HBO or something like that that I had seen parts of, but I didn't
Okay.
remember the whole thing. But I
Okay.
definitely remembered parts of it. But again, I don't know how, you know those movies that you're like,
Oh
this
yeah.
feels familiar.
Yep.
But when
Yeah,
I
there.
watched it, I was like, I don't remember any of this.
Oh yeah, there are plenty of movies that like I will watch them like for this podcast and I'll be like,
Hmm.
"Oh, I've seen this whole thing, but I never saw it in order."
Yeah,
Like I
I
see
never saw
I've
it in
seen
continuum.
everything
Yes,
else.
exactly. Like I've seen pieces of this, and again, I don't
Uh-huh.
know if I've seen pieces of it because I was on somewhere or
Hmm.
because these are popular parts that like I knew about the blue underwear and the
Right.
whatever. I did not know when Bill turns himself into a piece of turd or what does he turn into? Like a
Oh,
troll? Well, he doesn't turn himself into it, but
wouldn't that be so? I'd rather just be a giant pile of shit. Is that
yeah.
cool? Yeah, well, it's funny because I did know that. Like, this is one of those movies where I feel like I've seen enough stuff online. I've seen enough still imagery. I've seen enough things, probably snippets in other movies and TV shows, where I probably could have told you all of the movie,
Yeah.
except for like the biker part. There's no
Yeah.
way I saw that
Yeah.
coming.
Well, and that was, I see what you mean at some parts where you're like, this didn't have to go on for that long.
Uh-huh.
That was a little bit silly, but there was more that I enjoyed than I didn't.
I'm I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
I have to be.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
going to
part
look
of
at
it.
you any differently when this
No.
podcast ends. When I came on here as my birthday picked, and I chose the initiation. So really, who am I to talk about anything,
Aren't you right? Aren't you
anyone's
right?
taste at
Mm-mm,
all?
mm-mm.
I had that same thought the other day. I saw a clip from Rhinestone. I think I
Oh,
sent it to
so
you where
good.
Sly
Yeah.
sang the entire
About
song.
Budweiser.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and immediately I was like, who am I to tell anybody what a good movie is?
Yeah,
This
that
is one of the greatest
because this
things
is
I've ever seen.
iconic to me. I agree. I agree.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want to
So
get into what made you not
yeah,
like it.
no,
So,
definitely. Yeah.
yeah.
So I will probably, if I'm reading off of my notes, I will use terminology that you probably wouldn't really appreciate or agree with. The fact that the very opening scene, I say these two loser perverts gawk at girls' gymnastics practice.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, but immediately I did not like our protagonists.
Oh, well, I see I did. I got it where they're creepy, but that was the whole point was that you're watching these two loser kids, probably
Mm-hmm.
freshmen, I'm guessing, gawk at the girls in their gymnastics class, which
Yes.
that's so funny to have a gymnastics class in high school. Um, and they're daydreaming about becoming so popular
Mm-hmm.
that they get to, well, especially Anthony Michael Hall. He's daydreaming about he plays, see, I think, and you probably think quite the opposite. I think
Sure.
he does, it's, I don't really follow all that much of his career, but he does such a fun performance, so silly and so just,
I
I feel
think
like
that
he,
I think that he's better than what's the other guy's name? Leanne Rhymes or whatever
Wyatt.
we called him.
Oh.
Yes, Wyatt. Yes, yes. No, I do not think that they are doing a bad job with what they're supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
I just found, and I hate it because I don't want to be like, oh well, looking at this through the lens of 2025. I'm sure there is some of that here, but the
Oh,
thing
in
that
your opinion, yeah.
yeah, the thing that really, and this is such a dumb thing to be turned off by, like, I am all for loser dorks, like, getting beat up by jocks or whatever. When I found out how rich Wyatt is, I immediately was like, oh yeah, this kid deserves to be beat
Oh,
up all the time. This little rich boy. And these
I
are
feel like there's
also,
some personal feelings
I
getting
know,
involved,
I
maybe,
think
and
so too.
making, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But they're not like, they're not like dorks. Like I'm gonna say, oh, what Can't Buy Me Love. What's his name in that
Oh,
movie?
yeah.
Like
Patrick
that
Dempsey.
guy, I believe is a sympathetic dork. I don't think he really deserves anything that happens to him. And I'm not saying that bullying
Oh,
is cool. And
I see.
nobody,
You think these are dorks, but they're dicky dorks, like you said,
yes,
perverted
because they
dorks.
don't
Like,
shut their mouths. Like they mouth off to the bullies. Maybe if they
yeah,
weren't like this and they just like, I don't know. I just,
they rubbed you wrong.
they
They were
really
not,
did.
yeah.
They really did. And
From
I
the
felt
start, from the get-go, from the
from the
first,
start, I was angry that those two girls end up with him at the end of this movie. Like, and I don't think they're any worse than Robert Downey Jr. and partner in crime. But I was at the end of this movie, I was like, those girls deserve better than anyone at this school, I think.
they should be in some kind of threesome with Kelly LeBrock. Did you enjoy her then, at least? Not,
I
yeah.
did. Oh my God, I have so many things to say. And I did, but also there were times in this movie, and I understand it's the fashion of the time, it's the style of the time, especially when she's at the party. I'm like, this looks like their mom working the party. Like, I don't. And when the one blonde girl's like, oh, she's so pretty, she's so beautiful, I can't believe, like, what am I compared to her? And I'm watching this movie going, this girl is very attractive. What is going on? Like, why? I understand I think the allure of an older, more experienced woman. I get it, but like, and I guess she's magical.
Yeah,
Like
I think,
everybody
yeah, yeah.
at the mall is under her spell. Like
Mm-hmm.
every boy at this mall has to stop what they're doing and watch her. And
Mm-hmm.
I guess I wasn't on board with the magical element of this movie. I was like, oh yeah, it's a very attractive woman. I don't know. I had a lot of problems with this.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
All right, all
I mean,
right.
I'm even now surprised. But anyway, so these
Well,
guys are,
anyway, we got
yeah.
these two guys, right? We got
Hmm.
them. Meeting them to some is like you said, you didn't l love it, but to others, it's just two nerds watching some girls and knowing that that will never be. This
Right.
is the closest
Yes.
they'll get to any kind of
Yes.
lady action.
Yeah.
I do like that the gymnastics reference is made as far as like learning, like when he meets with Kelly LeBron or Kelly and said, or what's her name in the sh
Lisa.
in, Lisa,
Uh-huh.
Lisa, and makes some kind of comment about like I want to do gymnastics, and gymnastics is kind of code for sex. It does come off a little
Yeah.
creepy. I will say this, like when she first is kissing him, I'm like, she's like, it's clear that she is older
Yeah.
and that this is awkward. And there are no heavy, and she's just merely teacher. She's there as a mentor,
Right.
magical
Yes.
mentor, if you will.
Yes. And I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. You're right, when they are making out, I was like, well, this seems inappropriate. Especially when
Yeah.
she goes, are you sure you're only 15? I was like, yikes.
Mm-hmm.
Lady, the
Yeah.
fact that you just said that made this even worse right now.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
no, nothing ever happens. And she is there to teach them lessons, not even lessons. And again, the broader message of this movie, I think I can get behind because she's not
Yeah.
even there to teach them lessons about women or girls. She's there to teach them about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can totally get that. And if this was a the more you know segment where Kirk Cameron told this to me, I'd be like, I agree. But a 90-minute movie and what happens in here to get to that point, I was
You
kind of
were highly
aggravated.
uncomfortable. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we
Anyway,
meet these
you
two nerds and we
right.
also meet the bullies that
Yes.
that will be with them throughout the rest of the movie also. And as you mentioned, one of the bullies is a Robert Downey Jr. And
Yeah, I don't know who this other guy is.
I don't know either.
And he
Let's
seems to be
see.
the leader. Robert Downey Jr. appears, maybe I'm wrong, to be second in command of this group. Um, but I enjoyed him. I thought that
Yeah, I thought he did a great
I
job.
thought
Yeah.
these two guys were great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they come by and they pants these nerds and
Hmm.
scream, "Hey!" So the whole gymnastics team has to see
Yes.
them without their pants on. The one Anthony Michael Hall, like you were saying, that one of the reasons you don't like them necessarily is because they're kind of mouthy. And I think
Hmm.
Anthony Michael Hall comes off as the more like arrogant of the two,
Yes,
where
definitely. The other one, I just don't like him because his family has money.
because he's wealthy, right? Okay, and I get it. But
these
he
are
is.
these are irrational reasons to not like a character in
Well,
a
again,
movie.
I
I
think
understand that.
this lies in some personal some backstory here that maybe you do or you don't want to get into. I
I
don't
don't
know.
like those little rich kids. I don't like
No,
them. I'll
no,
say
whether they're
it.
nerds or not. Yeah. At least you're rich if you're a nerd. Imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Uh, So here's the thing. This is a comedy, and I'm not questioning that. This is a comedy.
Yeah.
I just also times I felt like there were better decisions that could have been made. When these guys pants them in front of these girls, they just stand there. They just stand there.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I was like, wouldn't it be funnier if like one tries to pull up his pants and the other one tries to run but trips over his shorts? Like they just stand there and they mug for the camera. And I'm like, what is going on? Why? Like it's not as funny as I would have wanted it to be. I think,
Okay. Oh, you wanted it to be more slapsticky.
sure. Yeah, I would have loved some physical
I
comedy
think
in
they're
this.
so awkward.
They
Like they're
just
awkward
stand there.
now and they're awkward even when when they have the party and the girls want to get in the bathroom or want to have a moment to themselves in the bathroom and they step in the shower.
Loved it. Loved it.
Okay,
I thought
okay.
that was hilarious. I was like, this is absolutely fantastic.
But that's the
Maybe it's
level of
a,
awkward they
yeah,
are.
maybe it's a real thing with these two characters because I almost feel like, other than the biker part, which take that and
Yeah,
flush that
there was
down.
it went that got
Yeah.
a little crazy. Yeah.
I feel like my least favorite parts of this entire movie is when it's just these two on screen together.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Because when they're in the bathroom together before the girls show up, I have no interest in this. There's a party. You won't even walk outside to go. I understand you feel awkward. Also, Anthony Michael Hall, you seem to really want to go to this party. I know you're here for your buddy, but you can go
You
out
can
there
leave and
and
go to
you
the party.
probably should.
And is his buddy taking a poopies the whole
I
time?
don't know. He says if
'Cause
you
he's
have
sitting
to fart, let me know and I'll turn the fan. And
Yeah.
then they're freaking
Squeeze
out.
the
I'm like,
cheese.
that's not a fart that they're reacting to. That guy took a huge dump in front of his friend.
Well, and then when it's stinky because the girls are coming in and they're white, they're yeah. But even that's part of their nerdy charm is their buddies, and so they'll stick with it together. And even though he wants to go to the party, he even says, like, we're in this together. I mean, look, he's a rich kid, he's got his own room, but he's got a Bert and Ernie bed situation with his best friend.
It's
Like,
it's a real strange choice to be like, I don't know, this character's got two beds. No mention of a third brother somewhere, or the fact that his normal king size bed is in the shop or something like that, and now he has two twins. Yeah, or it's just that Gary's spending so much time there. His parents are like, I think you two might be sleeping in the same bed, so maybe we should get another bed for this kid.
I think it's the way sometimes rich parents treat their kids. They get them two beds in case they want another one to sleep in. Maybe. Or
Okay,
have
wait
their
a
buddy
second.
over.
All right, so. Wow, that's so funny you brought that up, and it's so funny I never thought about this. When I was I don't know, elementary school, middle school, I had a friend who had a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
He had two twin beds in his room, Jamie.
See?
So when I
See?
would go over, I had my own
You
bed.
automatically had a bed
I
to
didn't
sleep
have to
in.
sleep on the floor, but I don't have any animosity toward this kid. What's my problem with rich kids?
Because I don't know. I don't know.
Boy, sometimes this podcast just seems to be a therapy session.
It does. It opens
it-
things up. It lets
yeah.
you really dig deeper.
But they're normally
Yeah.
just sprinkled in, not like we don't go this deep on it. So I apologize. Let's move forward with what we're talking about.
As much as we can, we will. So, as you said, they are having, well, they have a sleepover, right? That's
Yeah.
the next scene, I guess. So, did it bother you because he's a rich kid? He had a really cool bathroom.
Of course it bothered me.
Yes.
Yes, of course. And I am tipped off to this immediately because people on here are like, can we just get to the plot of this? People listening are like, how long is Doug going to complain about this rich kid? I'm going to tell you, this kid just got his pants pulled down at school, and you want me to feel bad for him. He gets home and somebody says the word, oh, he's talking to his friend, and he says, don't make a mess in that bathroom. The maid won't be here till next week. Immediately, I'm like, no, I am not a fan of yours. I don't like this. And yes,
But
then go ahead.
He's especially like Anthony Michael Hall, like I said, has a little more spice to him.
Sure.
But the Wyatt kid, whatever the actor's name is just
Lillian
such a-
Vernon.
That's a terrible name. I'll call him Wyatt. Um, he's got that squeaky kind of voice. Like he's just a
Yeah.
nerd, rich or not. He's not an arrogant nerd. He's not a like you, right?
Oh, right. No,
Look at me defending these guys.
No,
Like, you just don't like them on principle.
I completely agree. This kid is doing nothing wrong. Anthony Michael Hall has the personality that I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
kid is completely innocent, and
It's
it's
just that he's
not
wealthy.
his fault that his parents have a lot of money.
Okay.
But I would rather it be. I would much rather him be poor. I know it sounds dumb, and I know it doesn't mean
But
anything.
Anthony Michael Hall's poor.
Yeah. No, I know. And isn't it great that they're friends? And it doesn't bother me so much, but I think that's what bothers me is like, why is this choice even made? Is it just because he has the house that could accommodate the party at the end? She's
Totally.
magical. She could transform his trailer into an enormous mansion at the end of the movie if she wanted to. For the party, and then make him from humble beginnings once again. Or maybe it's just like his
Now, if he's
parents
in
are
a
out of town for a while and we have to believe that they're wealthy because that would mean that they leave for an extended period of time.
Right.
I
Well,
don't
they
know.
say he says that he sets that up at the sleepover where he
Yeah.
says his parents are out of town for a bit, just check out or to meet his sister's fiance, this guy that's going to marry his sister.
Sure.
And then the issue comes up where the friend is like, you're really not, your brother's really kind of a dick.
Oh, Chet.
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 That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Chet.
Yeah, when he's like, well,
And-
Chet's coming home. And he's like, yikes. Chet's
Yeah,
coming home.
yeah.
This is going to be a disaster. He's coming home from college?
No, I think he goes to some kind of military school or something, right? Doesn't he?
Okay, I thought they said
Maybe.
college, and then
Maybe.
earlier they talk about him like getting kicked out of military school or
Oh,
something.
maybe,
like that.
maybe.
He
Okay.
does seem to just always be wearing fatigues and have
Yeah.
guns and dead animals. So military school would make more sense.
Well, he is. He's coming home from something, so they're not totally alone.
Mhm.
But they have this evening
Yes,
together
quite the
where quite the evening indeed. They're watching Frankenstein
a
on the TV.
colorized version of Frankenstein.
Mhm.
Movie.
rich.
This movie is not scoring any points with me. Like, why is it colorized? Because we wouldn't imagine the two teenagers who watch a black and white movie. All right. Anyway, sorry.
All right. So hostile. Very, very hostile for this
I
movie.
really am.
Gosh. So
I feel like I'm being extra hostile because I thought you'd be joining in. I'm like, I don't
Oh,
need
so
to do
you're
that.
covering
Yeah,
my
right,
hostility?
yes, yes.
No, I kind of had fun with it. I definitely saw parts that I felt were long that I was
Sure.
and I definitely feel the vibe, but that's a lot of these movies that we watch where I'm like, geez, this wouldn't fly in these times.
Yeah.
Or, but
Right.
even I even liked there were some I don't know, I even liked how she was portrayed for the most part. And sometimes I can get really upset about how our women are portrayed in
Sure.
this. And her, first of all, I do love a British accent, so
Mhm.
she could talk for days about and okay. Oh, well, I guess we'll get there.
I mean, we've almost created her.
Yeah, we're almost created
Yeah.
her. They watching the movie Frankenstein. Anthony Michael Hall gets the idea that they should and could create something. I guess that's part of Wyatt's nerdum is that he's very tech savvy, we'll say.
Right. Yes.
And he's got computers, again, part of his wealth, I guess, is he's
Mhm.
got a lot of these computer hard drives, whatever they are. And
Computers,
somehow
hard drives, whatever. Oh, thank God you used the word somehow because I would love for anyone to try and explain what's happening. Also, I have a question for you because they start by saying we could make a woman on your computer. And it seems like they kind of just wanted to make an AI because
Yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall's like, we'll be able to ask her questions and we'll be able to get answers and things
Right.
like that.
get advice.
And then fast forward not too long into this process of making a woman, and they sit there and they go, now, should we give her a brain? And I was like, that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole point of what you guys set
Yeah,
out to
yeah.
do was to talk to a girl, and you're
So she's
not
gonna
sure if you
need
want to
that
give her a
brain,
brain.
right.
Yes.
Right. Well, because there's a lot of programming they're doing. And it
Mhm.
is, I don't know what, especially in the 80s, right? They get on this program that Wyatt has where he can create the dimensions. First he says, we're going to create this thing and it's only in the computer. It's not like you
Right.
said, it's AI, it's not something we can actually interact with. But that's fine. So they
Sure.
start to create then they start to what are they putting the papers in?
I have
They're putting
no
like
idea.
pictures of Einstein to help
They're
her
literally
fashion
putting
magazine pictures and
they're
pictures.
feeding paper into a computer and the computer seems fine with this. It does not melt down or be like,
No.
you can't just start shoving things in like a disk drive that aren't a disk.
But
And
that's
I
what they're
understand,
doing.
yeah, and I
And it's
understand that.
like they've got magazines and all
Mhm.
these things that it's a whole project process, right?
Yeah. I did kind of like this because at first I was kind of upset. I'm like, what is happening here? What are these computer graphics? But at this point, I was like, oh, this is all just meant to be silly. I'm not going to think
Yes.
too much about how any of this is happening. Because
Well,
if
then
you
it gets
try,
sillier.
yeah, if you try, your brain's going to break because
They
there's
do
no
a whole
way.
ceremony. So now it's just not about the computer. They've got
Yes.
a ceremony set up with candles and a Barbie doll, and they put bras on their heads
Yep.
um, as they try to conjure up this person,
Yeah, it
right?
kind of turns into witchcraft or something for
Yes,
a minute.
yes.
But also, the computer seems to be hooked up to NASA or something.
Well, then he goes because they're like, we're gonna need a lot more strength than that. And somehow he taps into like, yeah, some kind of government NASA like computers, which then like it gets things get nutty. His whole dishwasher goes
Right.
on, like every appliance in his home goes crazy. There's a storm outside, the
Mm-hmm.
skies are red, power's being taken from wherever, some government agency to empower, and it's this big wind and just it's crazy. It's cartoonishly hilarious, which is
Mm-hmm.
why, like you said, you're not taking any of it seriously or going, well, how did that happen? Because it's not
Can I
really
ask you
happening.
why they're while they're doing all this computer stuff, for some reason David Lee Roth pops up and starts talking?
Yeah,
What is
they look
happening? Where did
because
that
that's
come
one of the
from?
things that they put in
Because
to
she has
her.
his
Yes.
hairstyle.
Yeah.
Is that, do you
Well,
think that's
and
what it is?
his yeah, I guess.
Okay. We want Einstein's brain, David Lee Roth's hair. This is gonna be the hottest woman ever. All right, awesome. I do think it's funny how they do have a Barbie doll and they have like jumper cables hooked up
Mm-hmm.
to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie does not waste any time.
No.
And a lot of times I would give movie credit for this because immediately she's there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this all happens, like you
Smoke
said.
comes out of the
Yep.
bathroom or some other room. A red light
Mm-hmm.
appears. Their doll is gone. The Barbie doll is gone. So
Yeah.
they look at each other like, oh my God, did this work? And out of the room she comes.
Yeah. Kelly LeBrock walks
Hmm.
out. We've seen it 1,000 times. She's got like the little underoos on,
Hmm.
like the crop shirt,
Hmm.
David Lee Roth's hair. And she's like, guys, let's take a shower.
She says, what do you little maniacs want to do first?
Oh, I
And
like this. Can you do that? Like
yeah,
every time we're reading one of her lines.
I'll try.
Okay.
And I thought this was fun too. They take a shower with her and she's talking with them about what they're gonna, and they are fully clothed and just staring at her
Yep.
and don't know what to do or say or anything. And she's like, you guys are gonna have to lighten up if you want to
Yes.
stay with me,
Yeah, the
right?
reveal of them in their jeans at the end is really funny.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I thought that was great. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's a lot of what is happening in this movie that I'm on board with because they're not in the shower alone. Kelly LeBrock is there to add a little more interest to these
Oh,
two
right. You like it
dorks.
when they're not by themselves.
Yes.
Well, one of the things that they daydreamed about when they were watching the gymnasts in our opening scene
Uh-huh.
was that they would go downtown. It was like their dream was ridiculous because you're looking at these two little nerds, skinny little guys, and they're talking about going downtown to party, and they're like freshmen in high school,
Right.
and like and
Well,
with the beautiful lady, and that's exactly what she's motivated to do. I
yes.
mean, they built her, so they're,
She
she's
knows
built up.
that's what I thought was really fun is we do open on them and this
Hmm.
weird fantasy that uh, Anthony Michael Hall decides to say out loud so everybody can hear him is he says, "You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to shower with them."
Hmm.
And then we go downtown and we
Yes.
go out dancing and everything like that. So it is really great that since she's from their imaginations or whatever, that she follows that playbook
Well,
when we
that's her,
start.
right. That's they in yes. They fantasize about being popular guys, and that's
Right.
kind of what she's going to make them. So she says, "We're going out."
Yeah.
And they put on these sloppy hodgepodgey looking suits, literally sipping at like Apple Jacks juice
Yeah.
boxes,
It's
getting ready to
insane.
go out.
They're dressed like young Republicans of the 50s or something. But then they walk out of the room and suddenly they're in super cool
Well,
suits
we see
because
little
she's
lightning
got,
sparks
yep,
happen,
because
which
she
tells
has
us,
magical
yes, there
powers.
is something more for her. Well,
Hmm.
and even now they're in the car. She's got some cute little pink convertible, right? She's
Yeah,
got several nice cars that they drive, but the pink
yep.
convertible is the first one they take out. She's driving in this first one. They're driving downtown and they're talking about, she's like, I need a name. What's my name? And they name her Lisa. And again, with the magic, the license plate
I did
changes to
like
the
the
name
personalized
Lisa.
license plate. That's fun.
Um,
Yeah.
this
And
is the first.
she asked him why Lisa, and
Yes, and then this is the first time they
yeah.
bring up the
I think
story.
Wyatt's like, or I guess Gary's like, well, why not, Lisa? It's fine. And this is when we find out that Gary used to like a girl named
I
Lisa,
think
used to
just like a
date a
girl.
girl named
Yeah,
Lisa.
yeah.
Right now, I
In
can't.
eighth grade, in
In
eighth
eighth
grade. So I
grade,
think he
I
liked
don't.
her. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Okay,
yeah,
good. Yeah.
yeah.
Lisa never comes, or yeah, she's never in this movie. It's not like
No,
one of those girls at the end is
no,
Lisa.
no, no.
And
It's
also,
just
are they all the same age?
what do you mean?
These two are 15. I assumed that RDJ and his bully buddy were probably seniors
That's what
or
I thought.
something.
I thought that, and so I thought the girls were seniors too, and that
So,
these were
all
freshmen.
right.
But
So
it's
did I.
never said like, "Oh, you guys are the
No,
freshmen," or "Oh, they're just the
not
nerds
at
and
all.
the
Right.
the yeah, the guys that get picked on essentially." But not anymore. So they're in the car. They're with Kelly LeBrock. They're giving her her name. They're giving her a little background on just how nerdy they are, and then they walk into this like bar club.
It's called the Candy Bar,
Oh,
Jamie. It's
that's right,
awesome
the candy
with a
bar.
K.
They immediately get like the record,
Oh,
and
yep.
everybody turns and stares at them. The boys are kind of nervous. They're like, "Are you sure we should be here?" And oh, they don't have IDs, but she magically makes IDs for them. Did you love
Mhm.
Wyatt's ID? It's like he's got this just mustache,
Yes.
like his face, but a mustache literally drawn
Yep.
on it. And
Yes.
he looks at his ID, he's like fascinated, and they get in and they first have a hard time mingling. Um,
Yeah, because she's like, oh, just mingle.
mhm.
This club also seems to be a weird mix of like businessmen, pimps, and truckers. Like, I don't know
It
what's
is.
happening.
It's like every adult that would, well, not every adult, but yeah, it is
Yeah.
funny, the mix. Yeah.
And now what makes way more sense because they decide to mingle, which means
Hmm.
Gary walks around and talks to people, and Wyatt immediately goes to the bathroom. Like, and
Yes.
now it makes sense later in this movie. But
Yeah.
at this point, I was
He's
like,
just,
why is he going to the bathroom
he
to
gets,
mingle?
he gets uncomfortable in these kind of situations, I
Yeah.
think. So
Hmm.
he goes to the bathroom, and that is funny because he walks in and there's three men at the urinals, and they just turn around and look at him, and he's like, "What's up?" And they just like,
And
they
like I said,
barely acknowledge him.
one
Yeah.
is one is dressed like a
At the urinal?
caricature, yes, like
Yeah.
a caricature of a 70s pimp. Another guy literally is wearing overalls and a trucker hat, and the other guy's dressed like a businessman.
But
It
that
looks
gives
like they're in a
you the
costume
array. Yeah,
party.
that's the array of what is at the bar.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then he goes into like a stall to go, but he walks backwards into
Oh
the
yeah.
stall, and so he
Yeah.
sits on some guy.
Uh-huh.
Um, in the meantime, Gary is trying to make small talk with all the dudes, but he's like, "So do you get mad at your parents? Like, do they piss you off?
Yeah.
Like, what's,
I
I
do
guess
like
you
how he's
guys,
asking a 55-year-old
yeah,
black man this question. It's it's kind of funny
yes.
for a little while because once he's comfortable,
Hmm.
once he has been talking to these guys, he's Anthony Michael Hall puts on a racist accent that I don't like at
You
all.
don't? Well, now I do
No,
see how
and
it's a
plus he's
little.
talking about this movie's language, not mine, folks. A 13-year-old girl's titties? I was like,
Well,
what? And these men are digging it. They're all about it. And I'm like,
yeah.
I kind of don't want to be listening to this right
He
now.
gets very drunk. They give him some
Yeah.
kind of bottle of something
Mm-hmm.
to sip off of. And he
Yeah.
does, and when he does, he does. He totally slips into being like, Again, I see where it's a little racist. They
Right.
also dropped the F gay bomb
Yeah.
around in this movie.
If
But
if older people listening used to listen to Howard Stern, anytime Howard Stern imitated a black man, he sounded like Anthony Michael Hall in
yes,
this
yes,
movie. Like it's
yes.
so over the top and crazy.
But
I
you
I
could
was
see
not
it's
ready
him
for
just
it.
playing. I didn't expect it, but it's fun because it's him just playing around and doing this
Hmm.
silly back and forth. And it is even funnier when the other guys at the bar are like, "No way, she
Yeah.
did what?" No, because he tells
Hmm.
this tale, but he tells this tale in, like you said, with this goofy accent about being this eighth grader who basically got his heart crushed, and she
Yeah.
finishes the story for him because she knows it about how
Got kicked
the
in the
ending
balls.
is, yeah, he gets kicked in the
Hmm.
balls, and they're like the baby makers, or I don't know, they make the
Right.
family jewels, that's what he says, the
Yeah.
family jewels. um so it's great, he gets hammered and he just got this accent that he goes on with way longer than he needs to because now they leave the
They're
bar. Well,
still they're out of the bar and he's talking like
he's
this
in the
all
they're in the
night.
car and he's got this little, he's continues when they get home, he's got
Yeah.
this
Because he's talking to
little.
Chet when
Yes,
they
but
get
he's
home.
got little funny things he says. Like when he's in the car, they
Hmm.
make Wyatt drive home, and Wyatt
Yes.
is just so focused, and he says like, "He ain't got his license. He can't drive your car." And she's
Wow.
like, "It's okay. I trust him. I don't." She says, "I don't feel like driving." Um,
I love that. I love listening to this because I was so out at this point in the movie. Like, I think this movie lost me so early that it was really tough to get me back. And I think this bar scene had so much to do with it.
yeah,
Yeah. I kind of like, I kind of just had wished that they had gone to a regular club. Just a club that a bunch of 20 something kids would go to. I don't know how it would be funny, but there was just something about this where from the accent to what they're actually talking about, it really bothered me. And a lot of times I'm not like, and I hate to be like, oh boy, movies in the 80s. Oh, this is so gross. As I'm sure at the time, I think I would have been totally fine with it, but I'd like to think that I wouldn't be totally fine with it.
mm,
I don't know. I did not. I really had a problem with this. And at this point, it's just stacking these things where I'm so against these characters that there was no
there
coming
was no
back.
joy. There was no
Yeah.
joy to be found. Well,
Yeah.
I took it as silly fun. I see where it's
Okay.
offensive,
I
but
get
what
it.
of our 80s movies doesn't have offensiveness sprinkled in it? There's very few of them that don't.
No, no, no.
Because
Right. Right. Yeah. I think it
Mhm.
was just, I don't know what it was. I think it was a mixture of everything. It was the fact that, like, it seemed so out of character, but not character because that might be who these kids are, but also the fact that a kid who's supposed to be 15 and we have to listen to I don't know. I'm now coming off much worse than I thought I was at the beginning of this.
You're feeling your vibe. You're
I
feeling
know,
your vibe.
right, because I know a lot of our listeners are listening to this and they're like, dude, just deal with it. Like it's not that big a deal. And it's probably not, but boy, this movie, yeah, I had a real problem with it.
All right.
Man,
Wow.
okay. Sorry.
It's
Boy.
okay. It's
Huh.
okay.
But it's
Sometimes they hit you.
but it's okay because we are finally introduced to Chet. Chet
All
does
right.
enter this movie.
Yes. Yes. And Chet is the nightmare that he was described as. He's a
Hmm.
mean bully.
Hmm.
And he gets right in the face of Anthony Michael Hall, who is drunk, and does a whole I love it. If he pukes, you die. Because
Yes.
he's clearly drunk. Oh, Wyatt is very much not wanting Chet to meet Kelly LeBrock yet or to meet
Right.
Lisa yet. He's
Of
just like, listen, it's
course.
just he's too much, and I just don't want you two to even mingle yet. I don't want to have to explain you. So just stay out of the way.
How would he
But
possibly explain?
yeah, how do you
You can't
explain?
explain anything to Chet.
Mm-mm,
Chet's gonna
mm-mm.
take everything the wrong way. Also, Chet's immediately extorting him when he's like, "All right, okay, you're really late, but for $175, I won't tell mom and dad." I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
"Tell them what? That he was late?
Well, know that they came
That
home
they were drunk?
drunk.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because Wyatt's not, but or not the way that Anthony Michael Hall
Right.
is,
No,
not the way
no.
that Gary is.
Yeah.
And Gary and Chet have a conversation in the hallway where Chet uh he like fake pukes. He does a bunch of things to try to make
Uh-huh.
Gary sick,
Yeah.
and it
He's
doesn't work.
describing gross food to
Yeah,
him and
yeah,
everything. Yeah.
yeah. He even does like a little fake vomit thing to
Mm-hmm.
try to, and he's not, he just pushes on his face and they get him to bed.
Yeah.
While this is now while Chet is, or not Chet, while
Gary.
Gary is passed
Yes.
out, this is where oh, what is this? He's an asshole. Anybody with that haircut is an asshole. Oh, that's what Chet also has great names. He calls them like donkey dicks and all those
Uh-huh.
kind of fun things.
Uh-huh.
And Chet does have kind of obnoxious haircut, which Anthony Michael Hall points out, and he says, "You're an asshole. That's anybody with a haircut like that. It's going to be an
It's
asshole."
it's great because I do think it's important to talk about how great Chet is in this because like yeah, he's got the Bill Paxton, like his teeth are all kind of gapped and look
Yeah,
kind of funny
and
and
big.
big.
Yeah,
He's got this flat top that is like aggressively a flat top.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
said, his hair's crazy. He looks like he's in fatigues. If he's not in fatigues, he's in like a wife beater and like big
Hmm.
baggy heart boxers or whatever. And he's really having fun with what he's given to do. After these two drunkards go into the bedroom to go to sleep, we just see a scene of Bill Paxton walk down the hall, turn away from his bedroom door, look at the camera, like look directly at the people watching this, kick the door with the
Oh
back of
yeah,
his foot, and like blow smoke out of a cigar and dance away. Like he's having so much fun with
yeah,
this role that I
yeah.
really, really like. That was one thing where anytime he popped up, I'm like, okay, the movie's gonna get fun here. It might only be for a couple minutes, but I'm ready for it.
Only the Bill Paxton parts are fun.
Kind of.
All right. So, um, this is where there is a bit of creepiness. Again, I won't discount some of it being
Sure. Yeah.
but where Kelly LeBrock is teaching, I guess, Wyatt how to kiss.
I found this funny when they're kissing, but he's still
Yeah.
talking.
Oh
I
yeah.
did find that really
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Um, and she grabs his butt, which I guess is he does that at the end too. It's like a sign of like, I don't know,
Yeah.
she's teaching him. Yeah.
Yeah. He
Um,
grabs that girl's butt and she acts like this is a thing that she never even considered could happen.
right?
This girl's reaction is wild.
She's like,
Like, you have her high
hey.
school senior, her eyes practically like pop out of her head like a cartoon wolf and smoke shoots out of her
Well,
ears
I don't
when
know. I
he
don't
just
think
pinches her butt.
uh but so then they have a conversation about taking things slow
Hmm.
and um
Well, not even
it's
that, because it's implied that they have sex for a little while. Because this is when he says, she's like, "What are you thinking about?" And he goes, "Gymnastics." And
gymnastics,
she's
yeah.
like, "I'll try my best." Cut to black, fade to them waking up in bed, or him waking up in his bed, Gary waking up in his. So
Yeah.
it's implied. In my notes, I was like, wait a minute, did she just have sex with this child? They don't keep it going that long. Like she eventually tells him what's
Yes.
up,
Yeah.
but it's not like they really talk about taking things slow. It seems
Yeah.
like that's why I really thought she was like, all right, I taught you how to talk to some elderly men at a bar, and now I'll teach you all about sex.
And that's the next step. But when they wake up in the morning, they kind of have a feeling that maybe it was all just a dream because she does not wake up in a bed with either one of them. Like you
No.
said, maybe it's implied that they did, but she does not wake up in the bed and she is not there. And so they just and I guess I'm assuming that Gary's a little bit hungover and they both but they acknowledge that how could it be a dream? They had the same dream and there
Yes.
has to be some reality to it. But oh, we forgot. So the house obviously was a wreck because when she was made, it was like a hurricane came through there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
right,
his
right.
computer
Yeah.
was broken and things were just
Hmm.
because when she was being built, they tried to stop the computer and they tried to throw things at it or smash it or
Yeah.
whatever. And the room is completely back to normal again because she's magic. So they do wake up sort of with this sense of, did that really happen? Did what
Hmm.
we think happened really happen? And then Wyatt gets out of bed and he is got her panties on.
Yes.
So, and then he goes downstairs and she is making breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he's like, you need to, I don't want my brother to see you. You got to skedaddle. This is fun too. I see where Bill's back and now you're joyous
Yeah.
because uh
They
Bill
don't.
again comes down obnoxiously
Uh-huh. They don't
and
do this enough in this movie. I thought they were going to do it more, where she like walks out one door right as he walks in, so she and Chet never run into each other.
oh
I
yeah,
expected them to keep doing this and it to be a running gag. It's not, but I enjoyed it in this little kitchen scene, and
but another
especially
it's a great kitchen by the way.
I
Really cute.
enjoyed I enjoyed Chet's freak out at this these
Oh, it's
underwear that
seeing him
this
in his
kid's
underwear.
wearing.
Well, so they have a conversation again. Chet's kind of a jerk, and Kelly or Lisa's made breakfast, and Chet takes it and he's going to just eat it himself. And he
Yeah.
says whatever he does his little bullying business and his little, um,
It's a
and
real
then
like coming home drunk is one thing, but this is
well,
totally
then he
different.
sees him in his panties, yeah, and he's like, "This, no, this is not okay. What you have here." And then they keep talking, and he's only got a towel on anyway. He
Right.
takes his towel off, and he says, "You got to cover that up. I
Yeah,
can't." Yeah.
yeah. It's real fun. It's a great Chet thing. And then let's go to the mall, Jamie.
Oh yeah.
Because
And
what do teens do on the weekend? Go to the mall. Um, so they're at a perfume counter
hey, do we
and
know this girl from the perfume
hey,
counter?
we do. I couldn't wait
Yeah.
to bring this up. Yes, we do know her. I don't think you could place her. I could give you a few guesses, but I'd rather say, Jamie, imagine that she has a flamethrower strapped to her back and
We
she is
just saw
taking
her.
care of some frat boy zombies. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. She did that.
Hmm.
Yeah. She very much was like,
Yeah.
I know that girl. Yeah.
And will we revisit Night of the Creeps pretty soon? We certainly will.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing these characters out there for you. But yeah, she does a lot less in this movie. And I know we were annoyed with her in Night of the Creeps. She's a great perfume girl.
Yeah. She works at the counter, the perfume counter.
Yeah.
They're
Oh,
smelling some. Mhm.
although, sorry,
Mm-mm.
I'm not going to trash this entire movie. I already talked about Bill Pullman and or Bill Paxton, how much I like him. Um, when she identifies these two guys by saying, "Hey, aren't you the guys that got beat up at homecoming?"
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
just like, that's pretty funny. Like, that's a
Yeah.
really funny line to just recognize them from that particular
And
incident.
that didn't make you like them.
No, and it made me think like that and the pants thing. I'm like, how many situations have these two
Have these
guys
two
been
gotten
in at
into?
that
Yeah.
school? And I still did not feel bad for them.
Mm-mm.
Nope. So I enjoyed that. But Lisa is shopping for lingerie, and I enjoyed her conversation with this old lady.
Yes, there's a little old lady at the lingerie store, and
Especially
Lisa holds up this tiny pair of panties and she goes, "Do you think these would turn on a 15-year-old?"
and this old woman has to like listen to her one-lining her to death in this movie. And at the very end, I was like, is this old woman's natural reaction? Because at the very end of the scene, she goes, just stop. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that seemed so natural. After Kelly LeBrock is tap dancing all over this scene, just for that lady to be like, no, I think we're done here.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. So these two guys, we thought day at the mall, it would be great. I
They're
guess
feeling good about
yeah,
themselves. They're
listen.
sitting down and they both look at each other like having
Hmm.
this moment of like, I never thought I would feel so cool, but
Yeah,
we are actually two cool guys right
that's
now.
right.
Look at
Listen,
us.
they're buying perfume. I assume that they think they're about to watch their sexy robot lady try on lingerie for them when they get
Mm-hmm.
home.
Mm-hmm.
And they're over the moon with this.
Mm-hmm.
But things aren't all great
No,
because it
because the
is the
bullies are
mall.
here. Hmm. And everybody's
Everybody's
here.
at the mall.
Hmm. Hmm.
Robert Downey Jr. and the other bully. Boy, I wish
I
I'd written this guy's name down.
don't even think I did, no.
They are above them,
Hmm.
second floor, and they can see them sitting down there. So they have and icy, or what's the other
It's a
word?
slushy of
Slushy.
some
So,
kind.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the one bully decides to just dump this red slushy
Hmm.
on them. And I do love, like, I love movie editing like this, where it is a cup that has a slushy in it. And when he dumps it, it's like they dumped a 5 gallon
Yeah.
drum
It's a lot of
of red
slushy.
stuff on these kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of slushy that comes
Hmm.
down.
Oh, yeah.
And they have their moment, and the whole mall is there.
The
Of course, the very
whole
busy
mall.
mall. And the ladies see it, and their lady friends are the girlfriends of the bullies are sort of disappointed. Typical
Yeah.
bully girlfriends are half aware that their boyfriends are bullies, but also like, yeah, they even say at one point, but if we don't stay with them, because they talk about breaking up with them, and they're like, but then we won't be invited to
It's
parties
a
and we
real
won't be as
sidebar
cool.
between these
Yeah.
two.
Yeah.
And the boyfriends are doing goofy things like pretending to be
Mm-hmm.
sad or making fun of them, and then they look back and they look all innocent. And of course,
Mm-hmm.
these girls do decide to take them back. The blonde girl in this
Mm-hmm.
movie, she was in Night of the Creeps. And talk about like a reversal of screen time between she and Perfume Counter Girl.
Mm-hmm.
In Night of the Creeps, she's the sorority sister that opens the door when her zombie boyfriend shows up.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
was
that. Yeah.
her part in that. Yeah.
All right.
And these movies, 85 was this, 86 is Night of the Creeps.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah,
All right.
that's
Look at
all.
her getting solid work there. All right.
Yes. Yeah.
So
There.
as you mentioned at the
Yeah.
mall, too, Kelly LeBrock or Lisa has a undeniable charm. Well, she's got a really, really fashion forward outfit on.
Yes.
She's got this
Hmm.
little crop top and this, it's not even shoulder pads. It's like a whole shoulder situation of a jacket. It's a very fashion forward outfit she's got on, and she's wandering around the mall. So she's turning all kinds of heads, whether it's
Yes.
from her magic or because she looks like, she's
Kelly
stopped off
LeBrock.
some kind of Kelly, right? She's
Right.
stopped off
Yes.
a runway somewhere. And she sees the bullies on the escalator. They all make eyesies. And
Hmm.
to Kelly LeBrock or Lisa makes eyesies back. And they are like, oh, we have to follow this woman. And they
They're like
do.
cartoon characters. They have
Yes,
to
yes.
run up. And again, these girlfriends of theirs were upset that they dumped a slushy on two nerds.
Now
And they
they're running
don't seem
off.
bothered by the fact that these guys are like, bye, a woman just
Yeah,
looked at
pretty
us.
lady just gave us the
Yeah.
eyes. But they go out, they say hello to her. And I thought this was funny too. They're like, hello. They're like all excited to meet her. And
Yeah.
she's just like, hi. And they're like, well, you looked at us. And
Yeah.
she was like, and then she says, well, I'm waiting for my ride. And who comes to pull up to pick them up?
Great.
Yeah.
This is
And
fun. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
This
mm-hmm,
is fun when Gary gets out of the car.
mm-hmm.
Suddenly they're both dressed really cool again.
Yeah.
And he like opens the door for her. And these two bullies cannot believe it. They have
Yeah.
no idea
Yeah.
what's going on. The
They're
world,
slack-jawed.
yeah,
Yeah.
the world does not look the same as it did 5 minutes ago to
Mm-mm,
these
mm-mm.
guys.
Because she's getting in the car with them, she's smooching them, she's all there.
Yeah.
There they
But
go.
but also, if these bullies see this, wouldn't you, Jamie, assume that this is a can't buy me love situation? You know the one kid's rich. Like, wouldn't you be like, oh, those two dorks are paying her
They
to
definitely are
like
trying to figure
hang
it
out?
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
definitely trying to figure it out. They definitely are, like you said, they're like, what? The world just doesn't seem
Yeah.
right. Um,
Oh, but she does, real quick before she leaves these bullies,
mhm.
she does invite them to a party at
Oh
Wyatt's
yeah,
that night.
yeah, yeah. And Wyatt's like so, and which Wyatt gets upset about, and she's one of the lessons that she is there to teach Wyatt is to relax more. She says, Wyatt,
Right.
you are so uptight, you're
Yes,
going to have a heart
exactly.
attack before you're nervous about that's I can't meet your brother because you're nervous how he's going to react. You're nervous about having parties.
Hmm.
You go to the bathroom when we're at the bar.
Right.
You're going to need the help, right? So then she goes because she kind of plays the part of being both of their girlfriend, not even girlfriends, but
Yeah,
like,
right.
yeah,
She's just with them.
right.
That's constantly what's said. She's with us. I'm
Yes.
with them. They're with
Hmm.
me. Blah blah blah. Yes.
She goes to meet Gary's parents.
So great.
Great.
I
This
loved this. I was like, can this
yes.
whole movie be this
It keeps getting
interaction?
more. Yes.
Oh my
So
God. When
how would you
they
describe his parents?
I'm not really sure how to describe his parents. These two don't look like they should be together, first of all. His dad his dad seemed to be like a very typical, you know, beer drinking working man.
Hmm.
I thought, but he also has a real dorky look about him too.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then the mother looks to be trapped in the mid 50s in her
Hmm.
attire and hairstyle and everything.
Hmm.
I don't know if you would
And they
agree with
look
all
like
that
they have
stuff.
humble beginning. Like
Yeah,
they're a very humble family.
I
They are
had
not the
no
wealthy.
I had no
Yeah.
idea. This looks like it should be a garage. Like
Yeah.
there's a neon beer sign on the
Hmm.
wall
Hmm.
and like a shitty like garage fridge, but that's when you're seeing Gary and Lisa. And then when it's a reverse shot of his parents, they look like they're sitting in a traditional living room. Like
But
it's
it's
a
small,
crazy,
very
yeah,
small.
oh
It
yeah,
does
yeah,
look, yeah.
yeah. But it's just really funny how this whole set is decorated,
Hmm.
and she's so great because they ask them what they're doing, and of course he says movie, she says party at the same time, which already
Hmm.
sets off
Hmm.
alarms. I love it when she's like, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's a party. It's gonna be a great party," and she goes, "I had to write this down." You know, sex, drugs, rock and roll, chips, dips, chains, and whips.
Yeah, it's kind of a great way to
Yeah,
describe
she's
a
like,
good
you know,
party.
all the
Yeah.
stuff that high schoolers
Yeah.
are into.
Yeah. Well, they as soon as they sit down, the parents are suspicious. They're like, so you go to school with him and
Yeah.
you're his age? And they play that off like she's a foreign exchange student.
Uh-huh.
And then yeah, they have the back and forth where they say things at the same time, but they say opposite things essentially.
Yeah.
Um, they are like, no way, no way, why you are actually grounded. You're not going to this party. You're not with her. Um, and she gets mad for saying that Wyatt that no, sorry, Gary deserves the party, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um,
Because
oh wait, what about the fight?
yeah,
Wait, what
go
is
ahead.
it? Hold on. She says she's gonna throw a party and then what's the whole thing about tossing one off where
Toss it. Yeah. The only like release this kid gets from how you treat him is that he can go and toss off in the bathroom.
yeah, because she says he deserves the party because and
Yes. Yeah.
he's such a good kid and you never tell him he's a good kid. She really kind of stands up to the dad. Now,
It's
while
so
she's doing
great.
this, Anthony Michael Hall's like, "No, you're fine. You know I don't like compliments. You don't
Yeah.
have to compliment me." And
Yes.
when the mom is like devastated, like, "You do what in the bathroom?" He's like,
Yeah,
"No,
he's
mom,
like,
I've never
I've
thrown it up,
never done
never."
that. I don't
Yeah.
toss off in the bathroom. I'm like, I love this like British
It's
lingo just
great.
being thrown in here. And Jamie, I will tell you right now, right after I quoted tossing off in the bathroom, in my notes I wrote, this movie's winning me over. So I
See?
was
So here
kind of
we
on
go.
board. Yes, this movie was
Hmm.
turning a corner with me at this point.
Hmm.
Because his parents are so great. Like
Yeah.
it's so
Well,
funny because
and this
this
scene only
yeah.
gets goofier. So this does go to little like um she's standing up to him and he's really the dad is like, "Well, this is just not okay. I am going to call the cops because this is ridiculous and you don't come in my house and tell me." And she pulls a gun on him and puts
Yes.
a gun in his face and it's
Yes.
like, "No way. He's actually is going to come with me and this is what's going to happen and you're going to sit back down and da
This
da
is
da da."
such this is also such a great, and I hope that the writers for The Simpsons watch this movie. There's a wonderful Simpsons episode where the cop, Chief Wiggum's at home, and he's like, all right, I gotta get the principal on the phone. And he picks up his phone and he goes, Sarah, get me the principal. And then it pulls out his wife sitting next to him and just starts dialing the number on the phone. And I found that here. I thought it was great because he picks up the phone. He's like, call the police for me. And this poor woman has to like dial the phone because her husband won't sit down to make the call.
To
It's
dial the
really
number.
fun. And it does end up with her pulling a gun on this kid's
Hmm.
parents
Hmm. And
and
then the next thing you know,
forcing
they're in the
them.
car. They're
Yeah.
in the car and they're on their way to the party. And Gary looks shocked and she says,
Yep.
"Why are you so sad?" And he goes, "I don't know, because you just threatened my parents and I'm going to be in the biggest trouble when I do get home." And she says, "Don't worry, they won't remember a thing."
Mm-hmm.
Because again, she's got the magic. And then this becomes the ongoing joke where um
She gives his dad a
Gary's
little too
dad,
much
yeah,
magic.
Gary's dad's a little too absent-minded. He's so the parents are back talking and the mom's like, "What did Gary come by?" And he's like, "Who's Gary?" And
Yeah.
she honestly does. We have flashbacks, or we're not flashbacks. We have
Yeah, later in the movie.
yeah, later in the movie we see his parents again and she's like showing him pictures like, "You don't remember, this is our
That's
baby
right.
boy, our son." And he's like, "I
Yeah.
don't know who this Gary character is."
And late in this movie, they almost get in a car crash
Oh yeah.
with Gary, and he drives away. And she's like, "I think that was Gary." And I love the guy's like, "Who?"
That's when he says,
Yes,
"Who is this Gary
yes.
character you keep talking about?"
It's great. It's really fun.
Uh-huh,
Oh
uh-huh.
boy, I love it.
But
So
now
these
here
two,
comes the
oh
party.
my God, and what
Hmm.
a party. I love it. The doorbell rings and they open it. It's the whole school standing in the front
It's
yard.
so, yeah, the whole entire
It's
school. And
really
she's
funny.
like, yeah, they're all just came because they knew that. And I love it because I think it's the girls or somebody at the, I think it's the girls at the party. The later love interests are like, whose house is this anyway?
Yeah.
Is it belong to that British girl? Like they don't even know. And they say it as they're walking past the giant portrait of Wyatt and his family.
But did you see that portrait? Everyone in it has a mustache. It's pretty funny. I assumed, at first I was like, oh, look what Lisa did. And then I'm like, nah, it's probably one of those high school kids at the party
Oh
did
yeah,
that.
maybe.
Yeah.
No, because it matches his ID. Um, but yeah, so the party is off the hook. It's just got there's a
Right.
bartender there, the guy
The guy from
the
the candy bar.
from the candy bar is bartending. And Lisa is walking around, like you said, she's in another fashionista outfit, but it's not high school girl
It's not.
friendly.
This is a real like I'm the caterer. Like I'm
Well, and
working
she's
this
walking
party.
around with the foods and stuff, and
Yeah.
the kids are having a good time, but the
How
boys are
about the
upstairs.
how about the bartender? I love it because the bullies are of course at the party and the
Oh yeah.
bartender asks them what they want to drink and the bully that's not Robert Downey Jr. is like,
I'll have the whole
whiskey. And
bottle.
he's
Yeah.
like, how much do you want or how do you want it? And he's like, just give me the whole bottle. I love how this bartender's like, why don't you come over here and bend over and I'll shove the bottle right up your ass. And then he's like, I'll just have it on the rocks.
Yeah.
It's great, but these two are hiding in the
Yeah.
bathroom.
Yeah, this isn't their comfort zone at all.
Hmm.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Yeah, this is where I wrote in my notes, probably not for the last time. Where's Chet? So I don't know where he is.
Oh
He
yeah,
does come
Chet
home with a
misses the
dead
party.
bird the next
Yeah,
day. So I
yeah.
guess he's out overnight hunting, let's
That's what
say.
Chet likes to do.
Yes.
So these two are in the bathroom because we said this. They're too nervous to go to the party. Wyatt seems to have bowel issues when there is this kind of situation
Mhm.
going on. And while they're in the bathroom, the girls come upstairs and knock on the bathroom door. And then there's this whole interaction where they talk to them and then they invite them into the bathroom and then they talk to them some more. And it's real like, oh, this is your house. Oh, we didn't
Yeah.
realize. Oh, you're friends with her. Oh, we didn't realize. Where the girls are kind of starting to get a little. These boys are a little more interesting to them now.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And they say, "Can we have a moment?" And like we said, they step into the shower, so they're
It's
still in the bathroom.
It's very funny. Like I really love this because the girls are like, "Do you mind if we like go in and powder our nose?" And I'm like, "No, come on in." They don't even think of leaving the bathroom for that. And then
Hmm.
they do. They get into a conversation and the conversation starts to die. And that's when the girls are like, "Can we have a minute?" And they go into the shower where Gary's like, "I think we got a real chance with these
Yeah,
girls.
yeah,
Like, I think if we play our cards
I
right."
think this is a good sign. But then when they come out of the bathroom, these girls are not the same girls. Um, it's this.
Just for a second, I because it's two other girls,
Hmm.
the same hair color, and I believe, Jamie, tell me if I'm wrong, the same outfits, but they are
Probably.
unattractive girls. And
Yes.
just for a second, I was like, did Lisa do this?
Yes, of
Did she
course. That's part of
transform
Lisa's.
them? I
Yes.
I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on because then those two girls are right outside. They're like going back to the party, and Lisa walks by them and goes, "You know what you should
Where have
really
you two
do?
been?
No, she says, you know what you should do, two should do? You guys should really at some point shower with Gary and Wyatt. It's pretty
Oh yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. Well,
But the
and in the meantime, the bullies are trying to get with Lisa. They kind of are
yeah,
like, so what's the deal? Are you really with them,
yeah,
those guys? And she's like, yep, they are mine. I am theirs. I can't do with anybody else. But the bullies decide that they're going to that they're going to find the loophole in that. They're going to kind of, and it works. It does
it
work.
kind of
Yeah.
does. Like it's
They
a
they start out with like apologies to be like, so
yes,
sorry, we are really wrong to be mean to you, and this whole bit, and kind of, but it's obvious that they're kind of
yeah,
wrong. But these
uh-huh,
kids, these two nerdy guys, Wyatt and Garrett, Gary, are like, "Oh, okay, no, you're right. It is
yeah.
okay. It is okay." And they make the offer, the bullies do, why don't we trade? You
It's a
guys can
real
have our
like,
girlfriends
yeah,
and we
let's
can have,
swap ladies kind of
yes.
thing.
And these
And
boys at first are very much like, no,
right,
no,
no, we
it's,
can't. Yeah,
and they
we
said
couldn't do
it's
that with
based
her.
off a moral thing. Like, we just don't
Yes,
want to, we can't morally do it. But
yes,
they must decide that they could show them, then they could make one for them. They could make a girl, show them how it's done,
yeah.
and make a girl for them.
Yeah, I
So
was
they're
like,
just,
at this point, I was like, guys, everything was working out well. I understand the idea of swapping women isn't a great one, but you didn't need to take this extra step. You could have taken the moral high ground, or you could have been like, hey, deal. We want your
well,
girlfriends.
but I
But
like where it went. I thought it was a little goofy because then we
yeah,
jump into where they're doing the same setup, similar setup. They've got to tap into the computer. They're
yep,
stealing the government's info. Now this is all happening while the party's going on. And
yeah.
then even as the storm starts to approach, Kelly LeBrock or Lisa walks outside. She sees the storm coming and she knows, uh-oh, those
But
boys are up to something.
But why are they doing this, Jamie? Is the idea so that the bullies will like them? Is it so
Yes.
that bullies will stop asking them about Lisa? Like, because I was like, why would you show this to the bullies? Why would
Well,
you do
that's Lisa's
this?
whole thing. At least that was Lisa's whole thing was like, this is another lesson you two have to learn is that you're too eager to
Yeah,
please, you're too trusting, and you're not confident. And like, you should have never shared this information with these
right.
guys. Like, what are you doing? So that's where, because at first, because so they do this whole thing, even to the point where they all have the bras on their head. Robert Downey
Yes.
Jr.'s got a giant bra on their head. They're doing the things to conjure up the wind when it comes, because again, like the first time, chaos ensues when they
Yes,
start this
of
whole
course.
thing. But in this case, there's a party downstairs, so their wind blows up through a chimney. I didn't
All
understand
the
this. There's a girl at the
furniture's
piano. What
gone.
about the girl at the
Yeah,
piano that
what
gets
was
swept
this?
away and then is naked? I thought for a minute, I thought, oh, is somehow do they do it where they make one of the girls at the party become
Oh,
like, because that's what they would.
because it makes no sense. The first
No,
time they did this, furniture did not exit the
no,
house,
it
but you're
wasn't this
right. I
extreme.
mean, but
A
it's all,
missile comes
it's,
up through the floor.
yes. Well, because they left the jumper cables not on a Barbie, but on
But
the
on a
cover of like
magazine,
Time magazine.
that
So
had a
that
missile.
became real. But like you said, when that girl who was just for some reason playing
The
piano at a high
piano.
school party, I was like, the woman playing piano is stripped nude and shot out of the chimney. And I was like, and possibly killed.
Yeah. And somebody else's, but that happened before too, where well, there was a dog flipped on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Someone's in
now
the
at the
bathroom
party,
that's
there's a
upside down.
girl.
Yeah. There's
So,
also a kid in the Munsters. He's just in whatever's on
oh yeah,
TV.
they put some kid goes right into the TV and they watch him be in the TV for a second. Just
Yeah,
crazy shit's going
sure.
down.
Of course.
Um, but Lisa, I think, is the one
Lisa's,
that puts a stop to it.
yeah, she basically shows up and scolds them. They should be
Hmm.
scolded. There's a nuclear warhead in this kid's bedroom now.
Well, and she looks at them and she goes, "Yeah, this was a terrible idea. This was a bad idea."
Hmm.
And you guys were so like interested in pleasing these two and in making this happen that you forgot one very important thing, and that's when they realized they forgot the doll.
Yes.
So the doll is what made it, right?
So
Instead, they created
this
this missile.
So again, Jamie, at this point, this movie's winning me over. I'm kind of into it. Wonderful. This is the point in any one of these movies where she has to leave, where she's like, nope, you didn't do it. This isn't what I wanted from you guys. And there has to be tension. And then they have to go back and apologize to her and whatever. And then we can do the third act. But immediately she creates mutant bikers so that they can stand up to them and win over the school. She was just so mad at them. And now she's like, all right, you know what? I'll make you two heroes.
Well,
Why?
no, because she says again, this is another lesson that they don't have. Oh, first of all, you forgot about when Wyatt's
Oh,
grandparents
Graham.
come over.
Yeah, I didn't need to remember that because I don't care. I like it later when they're in suspended animation all the time in the pantry. But why his grandparents would show
Well,
up?
they
Like,
are funny because
why not just make it the parents? Why not
they
just make it the
the
parents?
grandparents are out to dinner and or I think they're out to dinner and it's really
Yeah.
funny. They go, the one thing a high school boy loves is having his grandparents come by and visit. Let's pay him a visit.
Yeah.
So when they pull up, they see there's a party. They don't necessarily like it. There's another confrontational conversation with Lisa, where Lisa's like, "Oh no, this is our party and we're having a great time and they're fine."
Yep.
And then yes, she ends up freezing them and putting them in a pantry
Yeah.
to kind of because they
And
were
she says
another
they
one
and she
like
says they look happy, and they do. Like
and they
genuinely,
did.
every
They
time
look
they
thrilled.
show
Yeah.
every
And
time
they
you see
look
these
grumpy
older
otherwise.
actors pretending to be frozen, it's pretty fun.
Pretty fun. Pretty
Yeah.
fun. But then, yes, she decides that the next lesson they have to learn is they have to learn inner strength and courage. Now, I agree. If there was any part of this movie that I was like, what is going on? This got way carried away. Um,
It's too
it's
much.
this
Yeah.
because they learn their inner strength and courage because a biker gang comes racing in through the party. Not just one, a whole
Like
three,
they're
four.
all like
And they're all have
mutants.
yes, I was gonna say they all
Like,
have some kind of thing. One's got like a steel face. The other
yeah,
one is got a weird shaped head, and the other one,
that's just how Michael Barrymore looks.
well,
But
yeah, there's
yes,
that.
yes.
Um,
And the other guy is literally Vernon Wells from Mad Max, playing, I believe, the same character he
hmm
was in
hmm
Mad Max.
hmm
But
and they ride, they
there's
literally, there's a
so
whole long
much.
scene where they
There's
ride
so
all around the
much.
house, and the guys are scared at first, and then they even say, I think, to them, like, hey, what do you need? Well, you're okay. But then as soon as these biker dudes threaten the girls,
Right. Yes.
suddenly there's a reason to feel brave.
Yeah, but it
Um,
seems so artificial to me. It doesn't seem like
I
it
like
seems
it.
like they
Lisa tells them, you've got to be brave and courageous. And I think why oh no, David. Listen to me making up names. Um Gary says, those
uh-huh.
are such outdated concepts, brave
Oh,
and courageous.
right.
Go ahead, sorry.
But they have to know this is fake. And I feel like that's why I'm not buying any of this bravery. Because they know this is just nonsense that Lisa made up. They know they can stand up to these fictional beings that she basically invented and that they're going to triumph in the end. Like, I never got the sense that they were actually afraid once Lisa said to them, no, no, you got to stand up and be brave. Like, in my mind at that moment, they were like, oh, this is all fake.
They
So
do
that's
start
why
to
they can be
learn throughout the
brave.
movie, Lisa did this or that's a Lisa
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Um, but this is I wonder if this movie would have made you happier overall if at the very end it was like they woke up and the whole thing was a dream. Because again, think of it like in a dream state where it doesn't matter that you know it's not real. It's just part of like, this is what I'm going to do. Because
Yeah.
then he thinks, so he stands up to them and he holds a gun to the guy
Yeah, the
and
same
swings
gun.
this gun around.
Uh-huh.
And it's supposedly the same little water gun because, oh, Lisa earlier sprays the water. Is like when he's like, I can't believe you held a gun to my dad's head.
Hmm.
She sprays him and it's a water gun. So
Right. Yeah, so that's the gun that he
Gary has
has.
this gun and we think it's
Hmm.
the water gun,
Yeah.
but he threatens them. He tells them to get out of here. He tells them they've got to leave and they all leave with apologies. Sorry. Have a good
Oh,
night. We
Michael Barrymore's the funniest one. He's like, "Can we just keep this between us guys? I'd hate to lose my teaching job."
yeah.
Like, I thought that was really funny and great. And so they leave. These guys triumph. These girls are all about them now. And this is the moment. every now and then I'll do this where I'll read my notes. I wrote, great, the end. And then I wrote, how is there 25 minutes left of
Oh,
this
well.
movie? I could not believe this was a very rare time where I'm watching a movie and I'm looking at the time and I'm like, what could they possibly do? These guys just won the day. They have the girls. How could you possibly stretch this out for 25 minutes? And I could not even believe what we're watching basically for the rest of this movie.
Well, so they did win the day. They do get the girls.
Hmm.
Gary thinks it's a squirt gun. It's not. He shoots and it's not. The house is a mess. The house
Yes.
is just
Yeah.
trashed, not just from the party, but because
Hmm.
there's a missile in the middle of the house and
Yeah, that'll
the
do it.
furniture's been moved around everywhere. And
Moved around.
Chet,
It's been blown out the chimney. It's
yeah,
all gone.
Chet comes back from his trip and he's just like, there's something in his room. Something is
It's snowing in his room.
snowing in his room.
It's
That's right.
snowing in his room.
Because he looks around at the house and he was like, "Oh my God, this
And
if anyone is in my
and
room, people are gonna die." Yeah.
Oh, and Bill Paxton has been so big through this whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
He is supposed to freak out now because there's snow and the entire house is destroyed. He is already at a 10 yelling at a kid about wearing women's underwear. Like his reaction is the same, but I know he can't go any higher. And that's
Sure.
why I
Yeah.
love this character. I'm like, every time he's talking to his brother, he can't be any more angry than the time that he talked to him before.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's great. The only thing to elevate this is to give him a gun.
Well, and he
And
does. He has a long. Yeah.
this is probably, I could be wrong, but this is probably the last time in this movie I laughed, is when he is hitting Gary and the
Mm-hmm.
girl at times on the head with the gun. I
Ga
enjoyed that. I found it hilarious.
Gary and the girl are snuggled up in their bed,
Yep.
and Chet comes by with his shotgun and bops them on the head several times.
And there's
Puts
like
the
a
gun,
boink cartoon sound
yes,
effect.
puts the gun right in the girl's nose. And
Yeah.
even Gary's like, "That's her nose, man. Like, don't
Yes,
do
he
that."
does. And
And
those two are doing a great job. Like when he puts the gun to her nose, her eyes cross to look at the
yeah.
gun. Like everyone in this scene seems to be having a lot of fun with what they're doing.
Hmm. And of course, he's threatening them. Of course, he's where's my brother? Of course, what's going on? Um, and then he goes
And he goes to
to
Wyatt.
Wyatt. Yeah.
Yeah. Who's in bed with the other girl.
Hmm.
Oh, you know what? It took me this long to write it down in my notes. The other girl, the dark-haired girl.
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember this character, but in the Friday the 13th, the only Jason movie we saw, she's one of the teens. She's the
Hmm.
one that decides to skinny dip alone at night and then is stabbed on a raft.
Oh, I do remember,
Okay.
oddly
Yeah.
enough.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we've
Hmm.
seen her before. Um, what? I'm
Chet
all,
and gives Wyatt a wedgie, a giant
yeah.
wedgie. They're all in the kitchen, right? Now, the
Right. Yes.
girls,
Because they're
all
all just
four of
trying to
them.
figure out what is going on and what to,
Hmm.
the blue kitchen. That was one of
Yeah.
my favorite thing that happened is when
Hmm.
everybody in the kitchen all like they were just turned into
Everything was
wearing
just blue.
denim.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
the
That's
kitchen
all.
wasn't cool enough. Now it looks really cool and all
Right.
blue.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's another thing. Chet's like, what is going on here? And he's trying to get them to explain what's going on.
Yeah. Because she
Right?
basically says, all right, boys, I think these girls have to get home. So why don't
Hmm.
you take the vet and you take the Porsche and you take these girls home? Chet and I are just going to have a little talk.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
And now in a movie where we did not need one, we have a police car chase for no reason at all.
Yeah, I agree that there's parts now where I'm like, okay, guys, what are we doing? But this is Gary gets in the Ferrari,
Yep.
and I guess he doesn't read the speedometer right, or he doesn't understand
He's looking at the RPMs.
the
He's not looking at
RPMs.
the
Yeah,
speed.
yeah. So he's going way faster. I think she even says, "How fast are you going?" And this is when he passes by his dad and his mom.
Yep.
Um, who is this Gary? That's what he says. Who is this Gary guy you keep talking about? Um, And yeah, there's a cop chase-ish, but it doesn't really
Yeah,
end in anything. It's just
it doesn't
watching
take that
him
long.
drive
Nothing
around.
comes
Yeah.
of it. It
No.
doesn't mean anything. It's not like he crashes the car and is hauled into the
No,
police
he gets
station.
no,
It
nothing
just
like.
gets this girl home.
Yeah, he gets her home and they everybody it's like this we're get wrapping things up here. He gets this his girl home. Wyatt gets his girl home and
Yes.
he kisses her
Hmm.
and he touches her hiney and then
And her eyes bug out of her head like she's
yes.
being stabbed by Jason
Yes.
Voorhees. And also Gary, in a moment that I think we're supposed to think is sweet and genuine, and by this point I don't care about, he says to her, he's like, I gotta tell you, I'm really actually not cool
Oh
and
yeah,
everything. And I'm
yeah.
like, she has to know that, right? You were the guy at the mall that she watched those bullies dump
Well,
a
he's just
drink on. You probably heard about or saw them get beat up at homecoming. So anyway, but no, I'm just saying it should be like a redemptive moment. But these girls again, I think I couldn't help but constantly think like, I believe they're under the spell of Lisa. Like, I don't think
yeah.
any
Oh
of
yeah.
this is real. Like, I don't think the moment Lisa leaves, I could see them getting pants the very next day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, they do lose their cars. That is kind of funny
They
when
do,
they both come
yes.
home in their cars. But
Yeah.
when they go I think they meet up, the boys do, right? At some point and they say we're gonna have to talk to Lisa
Oh yeah, yeah. Right
because we're
outside the
both
house,
yeah.
they both pull in the driveway at the same time. They're like,
Hmm.
"Well, I guess we're gonna figure out what's going on with
Yeah,
Lisa."
because they're both kind of they're on cloud nine. They got the girls.
Yeah, it's
It's a
a real
win-win.
like I'm in love, and you
Yeah.
know what? She's in love with me. And
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
like I hate to be this person, but I'm watching this movie going, really? That high school senior's in love with you? Really?
Well, it's
You think that's gonna last that long? Like, and again, I don't mean to be pessimistic or anything. I just feel like at this point in the movie, I watched
you were
biker
just
gangs
not
and a car chase, and I was done at this
you were just not
point.
ready to have fun with this movie. This
I
movie wanted
really
you to have
wasn't.
the kind of fun you didn't want to have.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you might be right.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at. Um, but so after in the meantime, um, Lisa is having this conversation with Chet where she's saying like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you're an asshole and you're not a nice guy and I'm but turns him into now this big blobby
Like a big turd
piece of
monster.
turd.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Come on!" And it is crazy because it's this animated little thing with lips with Bill's voice, and he's saying like, "Come on, you can't stay like this. You can't keep me like this."
Yeah.
And so she makes a deal that she'll switch him back, but he can't bother and tease and bully his
Yes.
brother anymore, and
I
he
think
should apologize.
this is another reason I love Bill Paxton's performance in this, because when he's a human being, he's out of his goddamn mind. And when he's a turd monster, he's just like, listen, guys, I gotta tell you, I'm really sorry. I really shouldn't have treated
Yeah,
you that way.
what? Well,
And
how's
there's
he
just
supposed to be?
no,
Yeah.
I just find it hilarious, and I love it how like he has to be turned into a pile of shit to finally be genuine and nice to his
Yeah.
brother. And I
Yes.
really, really enjoyed that. Yeah,
And
I thought that was funny.
that's a metaphor, right? That's a
Yeah.
metaphor.
Oh, I
Um,
do like how after he sees Chet, he goes into Lisa and he's like, you can't leave Chet like that. It'll ruin Christmas."
yeah,
I found that funny. That was a good
yeah,
line.
yeah. And she says, "Don't worry,
Yeah.
it won't last 30 minutes and he'll be done. Christmas will be saved and you're
Yep.
okay."
Yeah.
But yeah, Chet apologizes to them and they get to see Chet as this big, they're like, "Wait, what, Chet?" And then they say their goodbyes to Lisa. Everybody gets a little
It
teary-eyed.
gets a little teary, except for
Yeah.
Wyatt. Wyatt can't muster those tears. But you know what? The other two actors in this scene certainly can. So good
Yeah,
for
yeah,
them.
they get a little sad for each other and they know she has to go. She knows it's time to go. They've done what they needed to do. Slowly the house starts going back. The missile
Right?
disappears.
Get to watch a
Stuff comes
lot of
back
film in
in
reverse.
through. Yeah, we're hearing
Yes.
stuff in through the chimney again and everything's going thankfully because his parents are just coming home and they were suspicious that they might have a party, but not
Hmm.
these two, right?
Right. I did want another bit of humor at this point in the movie that the movie didn't do. when his parents come in and they're like, "Oh, we thought you guys might have a party or something." Da da da. I kind of wanted that naked piano girl to like run past them and run out
Oh,
the
yeah,
front
yeah,
door.
yeah, yeah.
Like I
Would have
thought
been
that would have been
fun.
pretty good.
Yeah, it would have been fun. But
Everything goes
but
back to normal,
everything's
but go
back to
ahead,
normal.
Jamie, because what's this ending?
Oh, Lisa is the coach of
Gym
a high
teacher?
school,
Wait,
I don't know, is basketball team? I don't know.
maybe.
It's a bunch of boys and she's the
Mhm.
coach. And she's
The
moving on.
end.
She's going to teach a whole new bunch of boys how to be men.
Is
And
that
yeah,
that's what we're meant to believe?
maybe. Yeah.
Okay, so she
Yeah.
now her because she's been created, made
Yeah.
into existence, her job almost as if, oh my God, they did make this into a TV show, Jamie. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think this is the plot of the TV show, but if it was, if every episode was almost like the Incredible Hulk, like her
Oh, like
going,
another boy that she helps.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And how she helps them.
Yeah, I might actually find that, but I'll bet it would get repetitive because it would just be like, oh, another loser. Okay, I know what to do
Well,
with
maybe
this
she's
kid.
helping the bullies be less bullying. She's
But
turning Chets into pieces of turd. There could be a whole episode on that. Like,
oh, I love this.
mm-hmm,
Again, I
mm-hmm.
haven't seen a single episode of the TV show, but if it is like this, listeners, let me know. I might watch it
He
actually.
might. He hated the movie.
I
So
hated the
yeah,
movie. I can't wait to
final
watch the
thoughts.
show.
Final thoughts. You hated it.
I really did. Yeah.
And even talking about it, you
Nope.
hated it more as we spoke about it.
No,
You
I
got
didn't hate
more
it
and more
more.
hate it.
No, I did not hate it more
Okay.
as we spoke. But sometimes we will talk about a movie and discussing it will bring one or both of us around. It didn't
Yeah,
happen with this. Yeah.
it didn't.
Like you said, I think it must have just, maybe it caught me on a bad day.
Yeah, sometimes that happens for me
Maybe.
with these movies where I'm just annoyed and because it is some of the stuff, some of the you know, again, some of the 80s vibe, I'll say, can be
Sure.
a real, you could just get angry toward it. Like, I can't believe this is how they talk about women, and I
I
can't
know.
believe this is how they treat
I know.
minorities, and
And
this
don't
is
they know that rich kids are villains, not our
I well,
heroes?
there's that. There's something there. There's something you're gonna have to discuss with your therapist on that, but we won't get into that on this podcast. I found this movie to be fun. I definitely see where there's parts that were goofy and long
Hmm.
and things that maybe were, an 80s vibe, we'll say.
Sure.
But I thought it was a lot of fun. Um,
I
it's
love it.
weird science.
It's, it's, it's the weirdest of science.
I
Yes.
don't know. I didn't honestly think about a good recommendation.
Oh.
But what I did come up with was, and I only watched it. So I know I thought for a lot of people, this kind of movie is titular, if you will,
It is.
for their high school years. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, this kind of helped, whatever. So a show that was, I guess, titular. I really liked it in high school. That is now on Amazon, but you have to pay for it. I think it's Amazon.
Hmm.
My So-Called Life, the one with Claire Danes and
It
Jordan
was
Catalano, I'll
it was a
say.
huge
It was
deal.
huge.
I
And I
again
was,
have never seen a moment of that
you
show, but
shouldn't. It's
for
very dramatic. Very, very dramatic. I watched the one because one episode was available and I watched it and I was like, oh my God. You know, when you like remember
oh,
how you were in
okay.
high school and you're like, oh, what's the word? Cringy. When
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh man, I can't believe I was so dramatic about
Oh, is that what
this.
this
So
show's like?
it's
That's
very
how this made you
much,
feel. Okay.
very
All right.
much.
All
Yeah.
right. I won't be checking it out. But you recommend it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. It really took me for a walk with that recommendation
What
there.
about for you there?
My recommendation is this movie. Should I watch it? No, not at all. Actually, nobody should. I regret watching it again. That was fun. All right, I'll give two recommendations then. This movie did make me think of the movie, of course, Bride of Frankenstein, which
Oh, okay. Yeah.
is better, so much better than
So
Frankenstein.
much
So,
better, right?
yeah, and I'm going to recommend another Frankenstein movie, a movie from last year called Lisa Frankenstein.
Oh, there's
Did you see
titular
that?
with Lisa. No.
That's what I was wondering the whole time I'm watching this. I'm like, did the director get the idea of Lisa from this? It's such a cute movie. It's really funny. It's just a high school dork. And for some reason, she like when she gets sad, she goes to like the cemetery and talks to the grave of some guy that died like 200 years ago. And the
Mm-hmm.
grave's struck by lightning, and this guy like crawls out, and she just kind of has her own little Frankenstein. And people
Mm.
that do her dirty, he takes care of these people, whether
Oh,
she wants
okay.
him to or not. And
Wow.
it's a source of conflict, but it's very cute. It's very funny. It's surprisingly violent sometimes, where I'm like, wow,
Oh,
I did not expect that from this movie. But it's really good, and it was out last year. I think it's on like Netflix. You can find it.
I might look it up. I like it.
Okay, so Jamie, it's that time of
Okay.
year.
Big breath.
It's that time of year. It's
Oh,
it's our it's I believe our favorite holiday.
the most
Oh,
wonderful time of the year. It really is.
yes, it is. It is our Sly's Giving. It's that time
Hmm.
every year where we get together to talk about our Lord and Savior Sylvester Stallone,
Amen.
and we are
Mhm.
putting to rest another one of his iconic characters
Oh, gosh.
because we already said goodbye to Rocky. All done. Sorry, Rocky. We hardly do you. And now we're going to say goodbye to Rambo because we're going to talk
Run.
about we're going to talk about Rambo 3. And while your accent of hers was really great, I think they're in like Afghanistan for this one. I don't
Okay.
know. You're really going to have to practice the accent if you want to make this right. Try and make it less Anthony Michael Hall if you could. Just
Okay, okay, I
dial
hear
it down a little bit.
you.
But yeah, I have never seen Rambo 3. I had certainly seen the first two before we watched them, but that's it for me in the Rambo franchise. This will be brand new.
All right, here we go. Rambo.
Uh, So, everybody, thank you for listening. I would love to say that this is like one of our longest recordings to date, but
Oh,
it's
but
probably
that's just
because
because our
we had to
technical
cut out the first
issues.
25
Yeah.
minutes. But thank you for listening. Thank you for recommending the show to people. I really love it every now and then. It just happened today where I just got like a message on Facebook from somebody being like, hey, I just found your show, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
nice.
And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. And that's really great. And I
I
love
love
being able
that.
to say, hey, there's 10 years worth of shit you can
Yeah,
listen to
keep on going.
whenever you
And
want.
guess what? The audio doesn't get any better.
No, it doesn't. Like, what did you listen to? Tron? Oh, you would think that we've gotten better at what we do or how we sound. Nope.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
But anyway, thank you, everybody. We will talk to you again in 2 weeks. Until then, have a great 2 weeks.
Goodbye for now.